Well, hey, y'all, it's Hippie from H&H Racing, Bad Back and Knees Club. Um, Man, if you ever ask me, do I want a free scooter, moped, lawnmower, tractor, bulldozer, jet airplane, spaceship, the answer is always yes. Got a call the other day. This thing had been abandoned. It had been on fire. It appears to have been an electrical fire in wiring harness. And anyway, have started breaking this one down. And man, that frame is not hurt. I'm thinking about lowering this thing and making another junior drag bike out of it. You know, I believe the children of the future. Race them well and let them lead the way. Hey, because I want to watch Nitro when I'm old. But anyway, I think that would be a wonderful. That bike it's a old 500 Katana, and I actually have a couple race shocks that'll fit this frame. And I can again. I'm really thinking about just lowering this thing and making a drag bike out of it for the youngins. Nonetheless, the that's what we got going on there. And then as we roll into the shop, this is my old standby handy. The that little stove right there is made out of a refrigeration reclaim tank and a rocket tube. And anybody that's ever come up to us at the races probably seen this thing at some point or another. Man, that thing puts out an incredible amount of heat. It finally got warm enough here that I can heat the shop with this thing just sitting outside the door in radiant heat. But because man, my kerosene bill was out of sight. And then we just bust up old pallets and all to feed it. You know, so essentially a rocket stove. But moving on. When it rains, it pours. Because I got, of course, there's the engine that's pulled. And got a Yamaha Zuma that, you know, it's a parts thing. And then the old Suzuki. Now that I've got the Pagsta and we've got that old Suzuki frame, man, I don't have a title for it. It's got, you know, a lot of issues, and it's not a wonder frame in the first place. I had it, so I was going to use it. But I'm going to cut this thing up into usable metal to build drag mini bikes out of. And anyway, anybody needs a set of wheels or forks, hit me up. Anyway, that is what I've got going on in the shop today. But I am going to once again demonstrate how my lift cart improves the quality of my life so much. Oh man, had a young man over yesterday. I had met him at a Chinese scooter shop in passing, and he said something about a mini bike, and I told him look me up, and I'm easy to find, and he did, and we come over, and kid's super nice, man. He actually he gave me that stock motor that was in the Doodlebug, clutches, 35 chain, control stuff. I mean, he just had a multitude of accumulated parts, and of course I wouldn't take any money from him because, man, it's one thing if you come over here and you say, hey hippie, I want to do X, Y, and Z. We sit down, cook up a price list, and go to work. It's another thing entirely if a young man that has some potential shows up over here, or a friend or family member shows up over here with money and parts and wants to hang out and work on stuff. Because, you know, I'm not going to give it my 100% attention, but I will, give it as much attention as it needs to keep the project moving. And I'm more than happy to do that kind of stuff. Again, this young man, he he had seen a Doodlebug converted to a 212, and he knew it could be done, and he went about trying. And man, I give him A for effort. But he got over here where we had some material to work with, and all that, and man, that thing was fast, scary fast. My knee won't bend enough to get on it. I was gonna ride it, but I couldn't sit on it because my knee's bad, and it just won't bend that far, man. There's a reason I don't ride sport bikes anymore. It ain't just because I think Harleys are so darn cool, which they are, but I mean, I like Jap bikes and European bikes too. I just can't get on them anymore. My knee will not assume that position. Anywho, so what I'm about to do here is I'm going to take my handy dandy lift table, and I'm going to jack this here Suzuki motor up, and I'm going to go ahead and break this thing and harvest it for valuable, parts, marketable parts, and hardware. And I'm actually going to take a look at the clutch assembly in this thing. Man, I want to build one of these junior drag bikes like a top fuel bike, and because ultimately that's what we're trying to do, man, is open a gateway for these youngins to move into pro racing when they're ready. And man, if you had been messing with a little bike that was just like a top fuel or top eliminator or pro fuel bike, and that was your and that was your first that was your first drag racing experience, well, hell's bells, man. You got a really good chance of being the next Smith or something, man. My racing days are over. Anything I do is going to be vicariously through an apprentice. And I'm going to tell you, little Dax has got the eye of the tiger. He's damn sure got the family structure. His daddy, man, Jeff is as good a fella as I've ever met in my life. I like him. I like that dude about as good as anybody I've ever met. Anyway, moving on. And the kid he's got the eye of the tiger. And anyway, man, that's what's got me partially so motivated about it, is I've actually got somebody to put on it. It's hard to believe that in 2022, you can't talk a damn kid into getting on a race bike or a mini bike or a dirt bike and riding it. It's mind-boggling to me. But hey, Dax ain't got that problem because his daddy done right. Moving on. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set this phone down and roll this engine off on the table. Now I'm gonna do this disassembly on my frame table, or on my fabrication table, and I'm gonna put the drain under it. I'm actually gonna let it drain into that box of wood, and man, it'll saturate the wood, and that makes hella fuel fire. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next little bit. And I'll be putting some of these parts on eBay and on the forums, and some of them are worthless and get recycled and turned into stuff. But I'm really after the hardware in these things, man. Every time I got to leave here and run to the store, that's a bunch of money and time out of my pocket. And if I already got hardware on site, well, So again, in closing, the answer is always yes. It is always yes. I want a free motorcycle, airplane, spaceship, hang glider, whatever. Checking out, man. I'm going to get to work. Thank you so much for watching. Hippie is out.